Now, I'm going to talk about Murkomen in a few because the speed at which this man has denounced his statement, saying that he did not issue a shoot-to-kill order, is something else. But, guys, let's talk about Rigathi Gachagua. And I know this man is untouchable at the moment. I mean, you start a conversation around Rigathi Gachagua, even on Twitter or X, you are bound to be cancelled any minute. But I have to remind you guys, before Gashagua was on the side of the people, he was on the side of this same government that he hates so much. And I know he's trying to make amends. We don't know whether he's pretending or not. We do not know whether this is his last resolve. But right now, the conversation around him is hot. And people are saying, you know what, you guys don't talk about Rigathi Gachagua because this is the only man we have that can be able to fight Ruto at the moment. He has the numbers, he has the support, and he knows Ruto inside out. So maybe we should accord him a bit of patience because this is the man that can help us take out this government if we are really intentional about it. But this is not sitting well with people like Cyprian Nyakundi, and they are saying this whole one-term narrative that Gashagua is, he is advocating for is just to slow the movement and make sure that Ruto stays in power until 2027. But let's take a look at this tweet by Cornelius Rono. He says, my friend Nyakundi, Rigathi Gachagua is not our enemy and Kenyans are aware of this. It is meaningless to continue fighting a truthful man. Okay, guys, a truthful man, really? All right, Rigathi Gachagua is like oxygen. Kenya cannot live without him. Come on, Cornelius. I mean, this is so far-fetched. What do you mean he's like oxygen and Kenyans cannot live without him? I mean, how are we living when he was the vice president? But we gotta tweet something. Anyways, to deal with Kasongo, we need Rigathi Gachagua's daily injections here and there. Remember, the war is not only won on social media. Let's focus our energy on our real enemy, Kasongo. Here on social media, Rigathi Gachagua is doing his thing on the ground. Let's stay focused and avoid side shows. That's what Cornelius is advocating for. He says Gachagua is a truthful man and he's like oxygen and Kenya cannot live without him. And these are some of the statements that we have to call out because number one, I do not believe that Gachagua is like oxygen, and number two, I also don't believe that Kenyans cannot live without him. And I have to put that out there because, guys, as I said, we have to remember what Rigathi Gachagua stood for, and we have that in us to forget so quickly what some people represented even before they were on the side of the people. And well, asked in an interview also on NTV why he did not attend the protest, he said he wanted to stay out because the Gen Zs have respectfully told him, you know what, stay out of this. We want to do it as Gen Zs. And he says, you know what, I was just being respectful. I did not want to invade because, again, he's been accused left, right, and center of sponsoring this protest. And he's also daring people like Murkomen to arrest him if they think that he has actually participated in funding some of these protests. And I agree. I mean, if the CS Interior thinks that Gachagua is sponsoring this protest, can we see some action? Guys, I need to see someone arraigned for this funding, they claim. And I've always said one of the things this government is not ready to accept is that people can be able to protest and just march willingly without being funded by anyone because they believe this is their right and they want to see changes. And so one of the things I've always said the government might not want to accept is that maybe no one is funding anyone. Maybe people are just marching on the streets because they are completely tired. But let's go back to Rigathi Gachagua. He says that defending the Gen Zs, cost him his job. But I always wonder why he did not resign. I always wonder why Rigathi Gachagua waited to be impeached, I always wonder why he fought so hard, why he hired top lawyers to defend him, why he went and defended himself. I mean, if today I'm walking with the devil and I know this is the devil, I don't want to be in it anymore. I I want to resign as soon as possible. So him waiting till last minute when he was impeached, I don't know, I said he has a lot of undoing to do, a lot of convincing to do, a lot of changes, because even when he talks, even when people like Cornelia say, you know what, we need someone like Rigathi Gachagua to help us in injecting, because he is our oxygen and Kenya cannot live without him. I mean, you cannot definitely turn a blind eye to who this person was and some of his statements previously, even before he came out of power. And you always wonder, some people would be like, what did you expect him to do? He was in the same government. You want him to fight the same government? But why is it so hard for these politicians to resign when they know they are sleeping with the devil, they are sharing the bed with the devil? Why is it so hard that you have to wait to be impeached, you know? Yeah, I know people are saying he has the votes, 5 million strong, but guys, I get Ruto is the enemy, but we do not have to go and defend the next person we think can get him out, because that is why we are in this same position right now. People said Uhuru was a bad guy and people viewed Ruto as the good guy. It's always the fight against the good and the bad, or the lesser evil, and that is how we end up making such decisions that are going to cost our country, and some of the decisions that we might not be able to take back. So even as you're advocating for Rigathi Gachagua, even as you are starting to attack people like Cyprian Nyakundi because they have different opinions. I mean, I'm of the same opinion that, yes, Gashagua has the right to say what he needs to say, but come on, we cannot forget who you are. Like, we cannot forget. And maybe there's some truth in this whole one-term movement. There are some people who want Ruto to go all the way to 2027, and there are people who are just tired and they want him out right now. So I don't know what your views are. I'm interested in hearing your views on the comment section. But as I've said, another person Rigathi Gachagua is daring is Murkomen. And guys, I want to play the clip where this guy says, you know what, he did not call for a shoot to kill order. But no, I don't want to play a clip where he's lying. I want to remind you of this clip where we had him call for the shootings of people who he might not agree with, because this is the clip I never want us to forget. So let's take a look together.
Na tumeambia polisi, mtu yoyote mwenye atakaribia police station, piga yeye risasi.
All right, so that's him once again. I feel like I will always play this clip on this platform because, guys, we cannot forget. I've said we always tend to forget easily, because right now we are still forgetting that Lagat is very much free. We don't even know what is happening with this man right now. We are still forgetting that people like Boniface have now been said to be brain dead. I'm going to talk about him in a few, but I will always play this clip over and over again of Murkomen uttering this statement, because I do not want us to forget. But I said last week on Friday, it will only take, it's just a matter of time before the police officers get to see the game that is being played here. I mean, Murkomen cannot lie to us that his main interest is the police officers. I knew they were going to read in between the lines and see that they are being used for a longer game. I knew they were going to see their, they are serving someone else's interest. And I want to play you this video, and then we are going to read some of the statements from our favorite newspaper. This is not an ad, but I love that the Standard keeps injecting over and over, because I want to read some of the statements from some of the police officers here to Murkomen. But before that, let's watch this video that has captured a lot of your attention, and it's good for us to see the men in uniform begin to talk, because I do not believe that we are enemies, but I do believe in calling out injustices when time comes, and I do believe that no one has given them the mandate to shoot Kenyans or fire live bullets or just, just commit these extrajudicial killings. When it comes to that, we are definitely going to be on different sides. But I love that now they are seeing that they are being used, as props in this game. And I want us to listen to a couple of them speaking. And then, as I said, read you some of the statements from these brave men in uniform who are telling Murkomen right on his face, no, we will not. No, thank you. And thank you, The Standard, as well, for this very, very beautiful coverage. But let's listen in first to this.
So you come on the street and tell us when they approach these stations, shoot them and you'll defend us. I'm telling you the whole truth, you are a liar.
Yes.
You have lied. You will not protect me. How that you will protect it is your interest. You will not protect me. I will be sacrificed in court before a judge and I will be sentenced to prison. What happened to Katito? He was sung as a hero. But finally, the determination of the court came out. You are not justifiable to kill even a criminal. What are you supposed to do? If you are within the late positions of arrest, present that person before the court of law. I say no to police brutality. I say no more to killings. I can't kill my brother. I can't kill my sister. You are saying this because your children are not on the streets, right? You are saying this because your cousins are not on the streets. You are saying this because your brother or your sister is not on the streets. You are saying this that they should be killed when they approach those stations where they are supposed to be protected because there is nobody of your family who will be on those streets. I am very sorry, Kenyans. If these are the kind of readers we have, then I believe we have a problem of incompetency. We are very sorry about that. How will I go back to my children and tell them their mother is normal, or their father is normal, or their cousin is normal? It's because they were shot there demonstrating and asking the government to hear their cry. Kenyans, we love you.
You can hear these words from this brave man in uniform telling Murkomen straight to his face that, you know what, we cannot do this because those are not your children on the streets, right? I mean, the other day, Sholei came here and she was accusing Maraga of, inciting their children to go on the street. But the truth is, none of these politician children are on the streets marching because they have everything. I mean, the money is doing the thing, The money is doing the thing. They have everything. Why would they go on the streets? They can't relate to what Kenyans are going through, right? They cannot relate to what you and I are going through, and that's a fact. So when I see this brave man in uniform calling out Murkomen and saying, you are not even allowed to shoot a criminal. You think someone is a criminal? Why don't you present them before a court of law? Why don't you let the court deal with them? Why don't you let the court sentence them? You cannot go out there and issue a shoot to kill order and then come here and camouflage and walk your way into saying that that's not what I meant. I was just interpreting the law. No, you are not. We heard you loud and clear. Actually, let's play that again because I'll make it my job to play this clip over and over again so that people do not forget. Let's hear that one more time.
Na tumeambia polisi, mtu yoyote mwenye atakaribia police station, piga yeye risasi.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. So don't camouflage and start saying that you did not say, because those are your words, and we will make sure to remind you of your words over and over again. Even if it takes a whole year of replaying that clip over and over, we will make sure that we remind you of that. But let's listen in to another brave man in uniform here. Let's hear what he has to say before I can read you these statements from the newspaper.
Yaani leo naongea na polisi wenzangu, ukiwa katika kazi, hata kama pressure ni nyingi, usipende kumuumiza Mkenya wa kawaida. Muangalie tu siku zote, umuone kama ndugu yako, kama dada yako. Kabla utumie hiyo nguvu kupita kiasi, mfikirie kama mtoto wako, usimuumize. Na wewe raia wa kawaida, wakati unafuata haki zako kama tunavyosema siku zote, usione ni kama ukimchokoza polisi kama ndio unafuata haki zako. Kuna ofisi nyingi sana unaweza fuata na ukapata haki yako. Yaani tuwapende na nyinyi mtupende na Kenya itakuwa nzuri. Usione kama ukinichokoza mimi ama ukinitusi mimi ndio haki yako itapatikana. Na mimi kama nikikudhulumu wewe ni kama ndio nitakuwa nimejilipishia kwa yale umeniambia mabaya ama umenifanyia siku nyingine. Tupendane na siku zote tutaweza kufuata mambo yetu vizuri. Thank you. God bless Kenya.
God bless Kenya. God bless Kenya. And that's a fact, you know. I mean, I don't know if these gentlemen will get in trouble for speaking their mind and just telling you guys, you know, as it is, calling for unity between the civilians and the police officers. At the end of the day, that's what we want to see. We want a nation where the police officers can do their jobs and the civilians have the right to protest and demand for their rights, you know, without fearing that today someone will end up dead or they will open live fire on these protesters. That is the kind of country that we want to see, right? We want to see a country where the civilians accord the police the respect they deserve and vis-a-vis. That is the country I want to live in. That is the country I want to see. So I don't know if these brave men will get in trouble, but other people who I might not know what their fate will be. Let's talk about this commander, Stella Cherono. She's the police commander in Nyandarua County, and this is what she said. Let's not let anger get the better of us. We must learn how to manage our frustrations constructively, right? I mean, if this is your mom, kudos. Now, I love that the police officers, their commanders, the OCS, and everyone in the police service is talking and they have opened their eyes. Let's see what Hiram here says. Hiram is, I think, the police constable. We just watched her. You are a liar. You have lied. You will not protect me, or you will protect your interests. I will be sacrificed in courts before a judge and I will be sentenced to prison. Please, 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 please. That's Hiram, the one we first watched, the first police officer. And I want to remind the police officers that when you stand at the dock, it's gonna be you. You won't see Murkomen there because there's a reason Murkomen has not resigned yet. There's a reason he's still the CS Interior. Someone is protecting him. Someone is protecting his job. I mean, you cannot go and utter such nonsensical statements live on TV and you still hold the position of a CS Interior. You cannot. In a country where even your president cares about you, he will look at this man and he will say, no, that is not how things are done. Step down. You will not represent my interests anymore. But because we know someone somewhere is protecting Murkomen, that is why this guy can go and say whatever he needs to say, because he knows I'm protected. Or maybe he knows it's not me talking. I'm just saying what you wanted me to say. He's serving the interests of his master. And the police officers are seeing that at the end of the day, in that courtroom, I will be alone. These guys are going to throw me under the bus. They're going to sacrifice me. They will come here and talk and say how much they are defending me. But the truth is, these people will sacrifice me. When it hits the fan, These people are going to sacrifice whoever they need to sacrifice so that the civilians can calm down. And the civilians will look at this government and say, yeah, it's working. All the people that opened fire, all the people that used live bullets, look at them being held accountable. And they know that is a tactic that is going to calm the mwananchi. And they are going to sacrifice whoever they need to sacrifice, as long as you are not serving their interest, as long as you are a kawaida mwananchi. Because look, all the people that have done all the evil work, they are still walking free. They are either stepping aside or saying, oh, I did not say this, but nothing serious is happening to them. Na wewe si mtu wa cheo, ama wewe si mtu anapatiwa heshima. What will they do with you? Man, they are going to fry you. Like, honestly, these guys are going to throw you under the bus. But let's hear what Kiambi, who is the OCPD, Kinangop, said. When you see the police, don't run. That's the image we want to build. Even a thief, there is no law that says when we catch them, we must kill them. Everyone has rights. All right? Okay, guys, are we in agreement that everyone has rights? That actually, even if you deem someone a criminal, let them have their day in court. And I keep saying, the more these things happen, the more we forget about Albert. Because what they want to forget is that Albert should have had his day in court. But no, thank you. You want to get more of those details? Get yourself a copy of the Standard newspaper. And I love that these guys are coming out strong and they are saying it as it is. And they are actually making sure that every day they remind you of why this government is failing the people. If we have 1,000 other people talking, then this won't go, people won't forget. People won't forget the truth here. People won't forget that we have had hundreds of extrajudicial killings. People will not forget that. So when I see such bold moves from newspapers and other media stations, you know, telling it as it is, it's a good day to be Kenyan. But you know who else is ashamed of Kipchumba Murkomen? His own teacher, Kibwana. You know, there are some people in this country, when they talk, you don't have, you know, you just accord them the respect they deserve. And one of these people is Kibwana. And, you know, he called out Murkomen on X. Actually, how about I read you exactly what he said? Because ukifika stage where your own teacher is disappointed, I mean, me, I know my teacher is watching me and they are like, go inject kabisa. That is what I know my teacher is saying. But if it gets to a point where your own teacher or your own lecturer is very much ashamed of you, man, it's such a shame. So Kibwana called out Murkomen and he says, do you know, of course, Murkomen, that due to your shoot live to murder command, you will now and in the future be held accountable for every extrajudicial extermination. Officer of the court, ? How was I your teacher at University of Nairobi? Also law. How was I your teacher? You know, let me read you what the reply from Murkomen was, because he actually replied to that. And I want to make sure that we are also fair enough to share what he replied. And he told Kibwana, my good teacher and friend, where did I issue a shoot live to murder command? Play it one more time. That's where you issued that. Let's go back, guys.
Na tumeambia polisi, mtu yoyote mwenye atakaribia police station, piga yeye risasi.
Yeah, that's where he did it, right? So, having been your good student, I know better than to make unfounded statements. I merely restated the law that you participated in its formulation. As you may recall, the 6th schedule of the National Police Service Act in paragraph B1 provides the condition for use of firearm, which include the protection of life of officers or civilians, protection of property, self-defense against threats of death or serious injury, among others. I am happy to continue this debate with you over a cup of tea. and listen to any other perspectives on your interpretation of the above provisions. Have a good evening, Mwalimu. You know, one thing I love about X is that it has a community note. And some people are quick to issue a note and say, Murkomen clearly issued a shoot-to-kill order to the police against anyone approaching a police station. This era we are in, you say one thing and we remind you what you said. Because that's what he said. That's exactly what he said. Now when he comes and talks about, I want to continue this conversation with you over a cup of tea. Who got time to sit with you, Murkomen? Who got time to even have coffee with you? You are such a disgrace to this nation, you know? You are such a disgrace to this nation. When people like Gashagua now say that they had even advised the president not to make you CS Interior because of your temper and anger. Now, by the way, we can start connecting the dots. We can start connecting the dots, you know. Honestly, you cannot lie to the whole nation. But you know what? This whole government is founded on lies and lies and lies and lies. So we are not shocked. But another person that is very much disappointed and embarrassed by Murkomen is Raila Odinga. Raila says, shame on you. You should not encourage taking away of life in a way which is not constitutional. If somebody has committed a crime, that person should be subjected to the law. You know what beats me? Is the fact that all Raila Odinga had to say was shame on you. Baba. Baba. Come on. Another day you would be busy calling for the resignation of Murkomen. What is happening? Say it as it is. Resign, Murkomen. Step aside. Hata area step aside tumlipe na hiyo pesa yetu ya tax, lakini ya step aside. We don't want this guy as the CS Interior. Lakini Baba, all you gotta say is shame on you. Man, am I the only person that misses Raila Odinga? You know? A couple of years back, Murkomen angekula dust. Me, I'm telling you, it would be Baba against Murkomen, making sure that Murkomen understands the consequences of his words. But Baba is like, shame on you. Kwani hii ni makosa kidogo hivyo baba unaambia mtoto shame on you? Ni kama unamkuna hivi, shame on you daddy, shame on you. This broad-based government will show us things. But moving on, I see some people are saying Murkomen should be presented to the ICC. That speaks a lot on our judiciary. I mean, if our own judiciary cannot handle Murkomen, who will? Yani we gotta go all the way to ICC again. Africans. See, I thought we upped our game. I thought right now we have a country that has a strong judicial system or a strong judiciary that can deal with people like Murkomen. Why do we have to wait for ICC to help us on this one? He said what he said. Can he be held accountable? That's just it. I mean, why do you have to wait for the ICC? The fact that we are still calling on ICC to handle our matters shows that we are still under colonialism. We cannot wait for ICC to come and handle these things. These things, we can handle them by ourselves. We have a constitution, we have a judiciary that can be able to handle these things. But let me know, do you think ICC is the way to go for people like Murkomen? I would love to hear your thoughts on the same. And also, I would love to hear your thoughts on the same in regards to the KDF. Unajua wamewatolea lunch. Lakini nyinyi sasa polisi mmeanza kuona hata lunch munachukuliwa. Kuna pesa ya lunch, but we got all the money to renovate State House. Ay, unaanza sasa. How do you start playing with people's food, by the way, now? Like, honestly, you mess with the education system, you mess with the healthcare system, and now you want to mess with people's stomachs. You know, but maybe it's a good thing. I mean, look at it this way. You know, they say, an angry man is a hungry man is an angry man. One of those. Maybe when the KDF become hungry enough, now they will know what Kenyans are feeling. Maybe now when you take away food from a man, he starts to see how big an issue is, you know? Because what these people are doing, they are messing with everyone's stomach in this country. But me, I won't comment on that KDF one. I want them to also come out strong, like these brave men in uniform, and also tell us how taking away their lunch is going to affect them. It's good you feel like a pinch somewhere so that you get to understand what other people are going through. Would be really interested, but you cannot take away food from bana. Sasa mkichukua chakula. I think that now is low. The bar is too low. If you're going to start touching people's food and you're going to start charging them. I don't know. Sasa strength watu. Bana. This reminds me of how we used to have canteens in high school. Kama una pesa ya kangumu, you stay strong. Stay strong. But I want to wind up. And I want to wind up with Boniface's story. I mean, to see the people Murkomen is defending are the people who opened fire on people like Boniface. And to know now Boniface has been declared brain dead. I don't know. You know, they are saying they can't switch off the machine because the Kenyan law does not allow them to switch off the machine. And now they have to wait for his fate. Another one gone, just like that. You know, some people are saying, maybe Bonnie left us a long time ago. Maybe. Maybe they are just using this narrative to calm people down because they need to buy time. But I want to believe that miracles can happen to each and every one of us. Maybe he might be deemed brain dead, but who knows? Who knows, you know? At the end of the day, we can't be the ones to decide that fate. But I also believe in tiny little miracles. And maybe there is hope here for people like Boniface. Maybe there is hope. When you go back to that footage, when you go back to what happened that day, it's just sad. It's sad. When you see the president not acknowledging such things. And by the way, guys, have you seen how the president is busy defending police? He's just busy defending police, and you wonder, does he know it? Because I think majority of us know it. The people between Ruto and the people need the police. And so he has to serenade them. He has to make them feel nice because he needs all the support from the police towards this government. He needs that. You can't help but think, why is it all of a sudden the police are darlings? You know, when Murkomen speaks supporting the police, when Ruto speaks supporting the police, why all of a sudden? Unless you have something to guard and something to protect. And you know, these are the only people who can actually protect me. These are the only people who can actually guard me right now. You know, I don't know. You can't help but wonder why all of a sudden the police are being serenaded, man. The love they are getting from this government, it's too much. You can't help but wonder why that is happening. But I hope this week is better for all of us. I hope we see some positive things happening this week, which we'll definitely talk about. I know the president might be I don't know if he went already. There's an African debate or something happening, I think, in London. And people are so surprised that of all people speaking in an African debate, of all people speaking in an African debate, you choose Ruto to speak in an African debate? Hi, guys, who are the people going to attend? I hope people can buy tickets just to make sure they don't show up, so he can address the chairs. That's how fed up people are, even internationally, with this guy. Share your views with me on Gashagua, on Murkomen, on Ruto. Honestly, our thoughts and prayers to Boniface family. I don't think, I honestly, when you see his photo here at the Standard, him, just laying there and knowing this was just an innocent mask vendor, you wonder, what do you want with the people? What do you want with the people? Yeah. So for those who are wondering why people like Murkomen are still in power, we are together. Why they are still your CS Interior, we are together. For those wondering whether ukweli Gashagua is Kenya's oxygen, we are together. Those wondering whether we can breathe without him, we are together. And those who continuously see the hidden truth in some of these statements and the paid campaigns, even on X, to cancel people who are brave enough to call this government out, we are together. We are together. Ask the questions, guys. Don't be shy about it. We might not get another day to speak. For me, I always say this might actually be my last day here. Man, but I want to go out knowing I asked all the questions. I mean, if it's bothering me, why not talk about it? If there's no sense in a shoot to kill order, why not talk about it? We cannot be silent. We cannot be silent. Yes, I get we might not have spoken then. We are brave enough to do it right now, and we will do it. And we will actually do it. But every day, you have to be cognizant of the fact that this could actually be our last day too. How can we go out brave? Brave enough to know we spoke when it mattered. So all the people that have been paid on X to drag people who are actually campaigning for genuine reasons, you can do better. You can actually do better. Because people will never forget that you defended murderers. You defended a rotten regime. People will never forget you defended that. No, people won't forget. So, as much as you are a Gashagua supporter, a Matiang'i supporter, I saw the other day Matiang'i say he's willing to talk about Baby Pendo, Ruaraka, Miguna. Is he willing to talk about Miguna? Because again, this guy messed with so many rights in this country. Like, if he's willing, just come, let's talk about it. Because I have questions for Matiang'i as well. I have questions for these people. We have questions for people like Kalonzo. All of a sudden, you can't be the good guys. You cannot be the good guys all of a sudden. If we have questions, let's ask those questions and let those answers be documented. Don't go out there telling people, oh, I am ready. Yeah, when are you going to talk about it, Matiang'i? When are you actually going to talk about Baby Pendo? And why all of a sudden are you willing to talk about it? Nah, we have questions and we will get all the answers. If this is the last time we do it, well and good, we've made peace with that. But share with me your thoughts on the comment section, and remember their names, remember their faces, remember Lagat, remember Kina Albert, remember Boni, remember these faces. All right? Yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section, and hopefully I catch you tomorrow. Same network. I want to really appreciate all the new subscribers that we have. You guys, I don't have much to say. When you think you will get cancelled for speaking, and you see you guys coming and supporting the truth, I don't know, that makes us feel some type of way, in a good way. In a good way. We know there are still genuine people out there listening who want the truth and not shades of truth, who really want the truth. So I welcome all the new members to this network. It's a free network. We agree to disagree. Feel free. Unlike this country where you do not have freedom of speech, actually you do have it on the comment section. So go put your thoughts on the comment section and let's have productive conversations on how to move our country forward, okay? Yeah, my name is Lynn Ngugi. Thank you to the amazing team that gets to compile this. Really appreciate you. And as I've said, I hope I get to catch you tomorrow. All right? Bye-bye.